Hello, Algebra 2 students. I want to clear up some often points of confusion between section 10.4 and 10.5. And a lot of this confusion that I want to clear up comes from us using this notation in 10.4 and the exact same notation in 10.5, but it means two different things. And you guys are going to be responsible for figuring out what the question is asking based on the context of the rest of the question. So if you remember, 10.4 was about overlapping or disjoint events. It was like drawing one card but looking at two characteristics. This would be saying drawing a face card would be event A, and drawing a diamond. Okay, one card that is both a face card and a diamond. But in 10.5, we use this exact same notation to say drawing a face card and then another face card, or a face card followed by a diamond back to back. And so it's confusing that we use the same notation for each of these things. And like I said, you guys are going to be responsible for deciding which question I'm asking based on the context. Some helpful things to remember is just that 10.4 is going to be one event and two characteristics within that one event, drawing one card, selecting one car from a parking lot, things like that. These could fit into a Venn diagram. So if you were thinking, could it fit into a Venn diagram or not, given the context, this would look like drawing a card that is a face card here, and then drawing a diamond. And then some of them are face cards and diamonds. That's that overlap. That's that part right there. Independent and dependence would be like two distinct events. I'm selecting two grapes. I'm selecting two cards, like things like that. I do have a couple of questions that I'm going to be just kind of going over really quickly to help you decide, because some of the first 3 or 4 questions on the quiz, I believe, are just decide if it's overlapping, disjoint, independent, or dependent. I'm not asking for you to actually calculate the probabilities. You do have to know how to do that. But the first questions, I'm just saying, hey, which type is this? And so we do have to kind of remember this information right here to help us decide that. And let's go ahead and see if we're able to do that. So if I said, what is the probability of spinning the spinner and getting a blue, and then followed by spinning a red? So a blue spin and then a red spin. So is this one spin, and we're looking at two characteristics of that one spin, or is it two spins? And hopefully you guys can pick up from this that I'm spinning it twice. I'm spinning and getting a blue, and then spinning and getting a red. So it's either going to be independent or dependent. Now you're responsible for deciding which, and the answer to how you decide is, does me spinning a blue the first time affect the probability of spinning a red? And hopefully you guys, at this point in your mathematical endeavor, know that that would be independent events, because no matter what you spun the time before it, it's an equal chance of spinning that same thing or a different thing the next time. So this would be independent events. What is the probability of spinning the spinner and getting a blue or an even number? So in this instance, the probability of spinning a blue or an even number, that's one spin. And I'm looking at two different characteristics. Now, because of that, I know it's either going to be overlapping or disjoint. I need to decide which one. And I think what helps is to think of this as a Venn diagram and decide if there would be anything in that middle region. If there is something in that middle region, that would be overlapping. And if there wouldn't be something in that middle region, it would be disjoint. So if we're talking about spinning a blue, boom, these ones right here, right? Or an even number, if we were to list these, there would be some cards that meet both, right? This 6 and this 4 are both a blue and an even number. So this would be overlapping. And then what is the probability of spinning the spinner and getting a red, I should say, or an even number? So if we're looking at that, spinning a red, that's this one, or an even number, that's all of these. There is no, if we were to make a Venn diagram, we would have, red, it would just be a 7. Then the evens, 2, 4, 6, and 8. There would be nothing that is both. That's in that and region. And so this one here would be disjoint. If you wanted to, here are the answers to each of these three questions. You do need to know how to do those, but I went over that already in a previous lecture. I just want to highlight the difference between independent, overlapping, and disjoint. It would not be a bad idea to make sure that you know how to get these answers, though. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions.